Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we are currently, remarkably, at peace. For now. I believe we're working on... Oh, this is not where I wanted to be looking. Okay, I believe we are currently working on fabricating on a number of locations. Yeah, so this is 130 days away. Are we fabricating here? Yeah, we are 130 days away, or actually 150 days away there. So then up over here, we're not fabricating right now, but this is the next plan at this moment. We want to get that under control, and we want to get some of this cleaned up. Now, Basra is currently our vassal, and I'd very much like to get them integrated, but we're working on it. We've got a ways to go. 400 here, huh? And as you can see, Bahrain doesn't actually exist. But Basra does. And Basra is a puppet of Portugal. Right, okay. Yes. Bahrain is fake. That's fine. We're working on getting Maghreb integrated. That will happen eventually. But we've got these armored divisions, and they need to go into a reserve. And I'm not sure which one of these is the real reserve for armor. It's this one. Okay. So that seems fine, and our next plan, after we take care of these couple of little nations, I think we're going to clean up these out over here. So Z28 and Zabulistan would be the next idea. And then we'd probably go after Karakanids. Is this part of them? No, it's not. We go after it after, probably. So that seems absolutely fine. I'd love to push our way through the rest of Asia over here. But for the meantime, I'm perfectly content to be at peace. This does several things for us. It allows us to build up our reserve, which, I mean, is already pretty strong at this point. It allows us to drop our world tension, which is not going to be relevant. And more importantly, it allows us to build up our compliance in regions such as this. So compliance strength is absolutely huge. That's going to increase our non-core manpower from this region. That's going to improve our resources and our factories from these regions. So that's all absolutely magnificent. As you can see here, we're at minus 285 steel. I'm pretty comfortable with the amount of steel that we have with our amount of production overall. So that seems very, very good. And we just need to work through some of these additional wars at this point. I'd like to get East Africa taken out. I'd like to get Kenya taken out. Both of those would be very good for us to do. But we're going to start to run into European colonies out over this way fairly soon. That's one of the big reasons why I want to go into Asia, because there's not that much for European colonies over here. Sure, they exist. We've got this section of Portugal here. But, I mean, there's a lot more out here that we can take. What is this? Yeah, that's theoretically fine. I don't think this is under Britain. Let's see. That's under Portugal. So we're probably going to come into conflict with Portugal sooner rather than later. And that's something we should think about. With that in mind, who owns this? Is that Portugal? No, that's Scotland up over there. And I'm assuming they aren't part of Portugal. No, they're not. They're just colored kind of similarly. Sure. So that seems reasonably fine. So the question, of course, then is, how long until this justification is finished? Well, it's going to be another 40 days here. And then out over this way, this is also another, well, this is going to be about 70 days. Sure. So as soon as this one is done, we want to start up justification up over here. Absolutely. I want to get this border gore cleaned up here, but we have a really, really solid position here. This is a very difficult position to lose from, is how I'll put it. I'm not entirely sure, even if the entire world ganged up against us right now, I'm not entirely sure that they'd be able to stop us. I think they'd give a good fight. They'd definitely push us back in some areas as we recruited up. But I'm not sure that they'd win long term. So there's that. While we're waiting on this, I do want to check in on infrastructure. Okay. We need lots of infrastructure. Okay, so let's get whatever infrastructure we can building here. That'll be useful for us for things like resource harvesting. And what else does infrastructure do? Increases supply powers and our division speed. So that'll all be useful, for sure. We'll get all of that done, and that seems great. There's a lot of infrastructure that needs to be built out over here. So let's get that going. That'll get us a lot of additional resources in certain locations. A lot of these locations have no resources or irrelevant resources, right? We just finished the justification on Trucial Coast, so I paused the game to make this a little less laggy as we go through this, and we can do this much more quickly now that it's not laggy. Perfect. So look at all of that built up. Hello. We've got this out over here. And I think that's it for now. So that seems good. We can also start building anti-air in all of these locations. I don't really care about that much. I want to immediately come on up over here and start working on justifying on these guys. There we go. So that'll take 185 days. And then, of course, we're going to attack Bahrain, which is going to be basically nothing. Like, it's over. It's already over. There we go. Bahrain has capitulated, and that'll end the war. Eventually. There we go. I was just like, what is taking this so long? So we'll just take that, submit demands, confirm an exit, and there we go. Perfect. So Bahrain is under our control now, and these guys, they can get moved over to here. Hang on. Where are they from? Oh, they're a reserve force. Okay, that's fine. They can just move back up over here. Cool. So we've got these guys. They can go into the infantry reserve, which is here. Perfect. So that'll be fine. And I do want to check in on the infrastructure over in Bahrain. Okay, so it looks good. We can start building anti-air. I'm going to queue these up, but this is going to be low priority. So I'm putting this at the bottom of the queue for right now. If we have a chance to get it done, great. If we don't have a chance to get it done, well, it's not that big of a deal. There's a lot of it to build out over in these areas, and it'll just make it much more difficult for enemy forces to overfly our areas, and that's ultimately a good thing for us. Okay, so we'll get all of this queued up, but it will be fairly laggy, but what else are we going to do in this time, right? So it's fine. Well, there's our justification of conquering Bampur. So next up, I'm going to go for Z28 here, which the game should be paused. We're going to justify this war goal here, and there we go. Now we can go in and attack Bampur. And that war's over. There's nothing they can do about this. It's done. It's over. So that sounds great. I'm going to go back to building anti-air, and that'll be done just automatically. There's nothing that we need to do to get that completed. And they've capitulated. Perfect. Okay, so we'll just get all of this queued up out over here. I want to zoom out a little bit. There we go. Okay, so we're going to take all their stuff. There we go. Confirm an exit. Perfect. So at this moment, I want to check in on infrastructure. Did they have their infrastructure built? They did, so that looks good. And we're just going to continue to hang out here while we wait for some of these other justifications to finish up. That's going to be the shape of this for a little while we clean up these little guys. It'll take us some time to do that, but once the little guys are cleaned up, then we can turn our attention to some of the bigger guys. And that will be absolutely great. I don't expect that we'll have a huge amount of problem with most of them, but it should be fine. I think the hard part is behind us now that we defeated Ukraine. To be honest, I think Ukraine was going to always be the final boss of this. And the fact that we fought them so early is kind of awkward. I intended on them being the final boss. So we're going to get all of this built up over here. That's fine. That'll just keep our civilian factories busy for the time being. Anything down here? Yes. Okay. Looks good. We've also got this down over here that we can build some anti-air in. Might as well. Okay. There we go. So that looks fine. Oh, we have this down here. I didn't even realize that we took this, but we did. Cool. That's absolutely wonderful. So, at this moment, the question is, how long before we can do these other attacks? Well, we want to get these guys up over here for now, and that's an awkward border, but that is actually the whole border. Remarkable. Because this has very awkward, impassable territory here. So we're just going to do something like that. We'll order that, and all we need now is to declare that war, and it's over. Similarly, up over here, I'm just going to have these guys be told, drive to the sea. It'll be okay. Cool. So now when is this going to be done? It is, well, it's over 100 days from being justified. So that sounds good for the moment. So what are we going to do for 100 days here? Well, we've got these that we can move into our infantry reserve, which we are kind of interested in making a new infantry reserve at this point. Actually, they're here. That's fine. Cool. So that'll be good. So no problem there, but we're going to have to start thinking about when we want to attack these guys here. And when we do that, that's going to require a bit of a complicated setup. Because that's a wacky front. No doubt about it. We're going to have a front here, a front here, a front here. We're going to have a front here, a front here, a front here, and a front here. So that's going to be exciting. No doubt about that one. The good news is we're basically independent now on our steel supply. We are still importing some, and I want to check on that, actually. So if we go into our trade here, we're importing from Great Britain and the US. Actually, no, we're not. They're delivering nothing to us. This is chromium, anyway. This is steel. So we're importing steel from the US. Mexico's only giving us 2 steel. I'm going to get rid of our trade with them. Japan is giving us 5 steel. I'm going to get rid of our trade with them. And Gran Colombia is giving us 4 steel. I'm going to get rid of our trade with them as well. You can see here we're down to 163. And the US is only delivering 236 due to low trade influence. Okay. I'm assuming they're angry at us. How do we improve our trade influence? I don't actually know how that works. We could definitely improve relations with them. And that's maybe not the worst idea in the world. So if we did that, that might start improving their deliveries to us. But to be honest, we don't really want to fully receive this delivery, I don't think. This is at 236 right now. Okay, that's fine for the moment. So this is just the maximum amount that they're willing to send us. I would like to wean ourselves off of the American steel, but for the moment, this is fine. So that looks good for now, and we are, of course, interested in seeing how long it's going to be now. What do we got? Another 50 days. Okay. So that's fine. And then this one's another 125 days. Again, that's fine. So we're going to take out Zabulistan, and then I think our next goal is going to be taking out Kilwa in East Africa, down over here. East Africa is not related to Portugal, correct? Correct. Okay. So that's absolutely fine, and then we can start breaking into the subcontinent. I mean, we're already in there a little bit, but I really think our next move is to attack here. What do they have for resources? They do have some steel. I'm interested in acquiring this steel. Definitely. They've got a decent chunk of it. So we are certainly going to be attacking them soon. So I'm going to grab these guys, and we're going to start working on getting up over here. And then these guys, eventually, after the autosave, they're going to come up over this direction. Perfect. I'm going to have this force of tanks here. They're going to come up over here. Like this. Okay. So that seems fine. And then we're going to want this army group to leave this area. But for the time being, this is okay. This is going to happen after the East African and Kilwan War. So that'll be fine. It's going to be delayed a little bit. I'm not particularly concerned about that. I'm also thinking that I'm going to cut our recruitment again down to 2 and 2. There we go. So that'll be absolutely fine. I don't think we require additional recruitment at this moment. So I want this force, which is Marines, to come down here, and they're going to encircle Kilwa. I don't think we're going to need much more than that to take out Kilwa. As far as East Africa goes, I think we'll use our tanks for this, and we'll have a front here, a front here, a front here, and a front here. And that'll be fine. This is South Africa down here, not East Africa. So that should be okay. I don't think we have any problem whatsoever there. It's just going to take us a little bit of time to get this all done. Our justification for this is now finished. So I'm going to immediately begin justifying on Kilwa next. Oh, they have Socotra as well. Noted. So that's fine. 45 political power. We could start an invasion on this, but this isn't a victory point. I don't think we even need it. So that's absolutely okay. And we are going to start our invasion up over here. Yes. So this war's over. There's nothing they can do about it. It's already done. Cool. So they capitulate, and there's no shockers there. The dawn of the European Federation. They just joined this with Achaia. So that seems ambitious. Are they going to call them in, or are they going to just end the war? We've been embargoed by Achaia. Where even is Achaia? I don't even see them in Greece here. Oh, right over here. Just in case. I'm going to move these guys over. We have no way to get there, do we? We don't. So we should probably build a naval base out over this way. And then we'll have a way to get there as soon as that's done. But the war's over, and they did not get called in, so it doesn't actually matter. Okay, so that seems wonderful. That's now dealt with. And I want these guys to just chill for the moment, honestly. That's fine. We could move this actually into here. We've got these guys as part of this, right? And then this force could theoretically come down here and start frontlining over this way. It's a little awkward, but they can do that. We're going to want to reset that later on once we're getting more serious about attacking them. But for the moment, just having them in that area seems pretty okay. There's this infantry division over here as well, and I wouldn't mind them coming down over here. This is a pretty long front for them, but it seems okay for now. So we're going to be attacking Z28 very, very shortly here. Again, I don't expect any significant threat here. This is absolutely fine. Nobody is stepping in to stop us because the only other powers that are actually, like, powerful, like Britain, France, the United States of Europe, Scandinavia, all of these are actually fascist. Well, actually, Britain has changed over to non-aligned. That's noted. France is still fascist. The United States of Europe is democratic, but they're not very strong. Scandinavia is fascist, and that is, of course, very useful for us. Britain could be a problem, though. We'll have to see how we want to handle Britain, for sure. Going forward, though, as of right now, I don't expect to run into problems with Britain for a long time. I would kind of like to leave them for last. It could be interesting, though. Could be interesting. So, we should be getting very close to having this justification done. And the answer is we are. We're about 40 days away. Okay. So we're working on Kilwa, and then East Africa will be after that. If we were to justify it now, unfortunately... oh, that's a lot. We can't even select these. Okay. Yeah, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that yet. We'll justify on them after. First, we want to take over Kandahar, and that is the goal here. So we'll be done with this justification in 25 days. Beautiful. Beautiful. I do want to check in on the status of infrastructure on our new territory out over here. And can we build here? No, that's in the United States of Europe. Okay. We can probably build anti-air over this way, though. Yes. Cool. We can build anti-air over here. Done. And over here. Done. Sounds good. Okay, so that's all fine. We've got our anti-air going in. That'll be okay. So out over this direction, we can see they are stretched extraordinarily thin out here. So that's noted. We're going to need more forces up here. But like I said, we're not super serious about attacking over here just yet. We'll get there. As of right now, we're very serious about attacking Z28 and Kilwa. East Africa, we've got a plan for, but that'll be a little bit yet. And we're going to do Zabulistan after as well. So that's fine. So we'll get Z28 dealt with, and then we'll probably start fabricating on Zabulistan at that moment, I think. And then we'll go after East Africa. Just because we happen to be up here already. So that'll be fine. Not like we, need to delay or anything, because we'll have to move around, and we'll have to have time to move around anyway. So 390 days for this, that's pretty significant. That's pretty significant indeed. But I'll still do it. So we're going to attack Z28 here, and this war's over. There's nothing that they can do about this. It's already done. Cool. So in we go. This justification is going to take a while. I'm surprised it's going to take 390 days, to be honest. Okay, so they've capitulated, and that's absolutely fine. We'll select all, we'll submit demands, and confirm an exit. Beautiful. So next up, we could just attack these guys with some of our infantry, or just leave one tank army here. And that's actually kind of what I'm leaning towards doing. So we could grab these guys. We could have them frontline here, and then grab half of them, and they can go and frontline over here, like this. Then the rest of these forces would come down over here. So we'd have this army that would frontline here. We'd have this army that would frontline here. Then we'd have this army that would frontline here, which it can't get to yet. And then this army would frontline over here, like this. Hang on, that was the wrong army, wasn't it? You guys should come here. Not you guys. Okay. And then these guys, they're of course going to need to be reassigned up over here because I messed that up. There we go. So something about like that would be what we'd go for. We can actually get here. It's a level 1 naval base. We should probably bump that up. And I'm going to bump up this naval base as well, but otherwise that should be pretty good. How close are we to justifying on Kilwa? Okay, we got a little while to go here. So both of these justifications that we're doing right now are going to be a bit on the slow side, and that's understood. Our world tension is definitely up there. No doubt about it. It is reducing our justify war goal time by 50%, so that's neat. But we haven't had a large-scale war, and these small wars mean that we have a lot of downtime between the wars, for the exact reason of justification. We can't declare war without a justification. I kind of wish we could, but we have to have a justification. It is sad. But it is about time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we'll get these guys wiped out, we'll get these guys wiped out, and then we'll start getting serious about attacking up over here and getting borders with Ming. Getting Ming would be a big deal for us. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge, STL, Spock, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.